Today, the 3 email marketing secrets that I sure as hell wish I would have known 19 years ago. MichaelMcLean.coach. If you've just fallen off the turnip truck and you don't know who the hell I am or what I'm doing walking around with this broken iPhone, I am a former professional and amateur championship hockey coach turned 8-figure entrepreneur. I still today make $1 million a year writing simple plain text emails to my friends. In some of these videos, I show you exactly how I continue to do that. Not everybody's cup of whiskey, these videos. However, if you're interested in me being in your inbox every morning at 6 a.m., the toughest advice for the toughest businessmen, I always say iron sharpens iron. If you want me with a video in your email box every morning at 6 a.m., go to michaelmclean.coach. There's nothing to buy. It's a free video every morning at 6 a.m., michaelmclean.coach. So today, email marketing, the honey that brings in the money. As the great Matthew Fury says, email marketing, the 8th wonder of the marketing world. I could not agree more. So there's 3 email marketing secrets that I regret not knowing when I started email marketing 19-20 years ago. I first got into the email marketing game way back when I was in the insurance business with my dad. You may or may not be familiar with the story, but email ended up saving my bacon from bankruptcy, from financial ruin, and just as importantly, I would have been the laughing stock of my family, and I would have been the laughing stock in the community. I grew up in a small community of 6,000 people, and when you take over your dad's successful insurance agency coming out of pro and amateur hockey, everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people were betting against me. A lot of people were hoping I would fail. A lot of people would be saying, you know what, he can never fill his old man's shoes. So email saved me from a lot of personal humiliation and embarrassment, and it also saved me from going personal and corporately bankrupt. I had, when I bought my dad's agency the first year and every year for 7.5 years, I had to pay my dad $30K a month. That's a big nut to crack every month, and I was only 3 months into the 10-year deal when my bookkeeper came down to me one day, and she stood beside my desk and she says, "Michael, there's no way in hell we're gonna make the $30K payment to your dad next week." And I just remember what that felt like. I was the sales guy at the time, and I was the new owner of McLean Insurance, and I thought I was doing pretty well, and it just knocked the life out of me. It was like the ultimate kick in the balls. It was like, whoa, that was one of the most fearful moments of my adult life. Like, what am I gonna do? And to make a short story long, I ended up sending an email. I call it my Doug Flutie Hail Mary email. It was a 9-word email that I still use today. And when I went back to my little 1-bedroom apartment that night, I actually took this email idea from the great Dean Jackson. It wasn't my email, the 9-word. I took it from his coaching, and I personalized it, and I sent it to my list of about 200 people. We had 2,000 clients, and we only had 200 people on an email list, probably in MailChimp or Gmail or something like that. So we were as amateur hour as you could be. I decided after I had a few beer and a couple slices of pizza that I was going to send this email out to my list, hell or high water, because I had nothing to lose. It was literally my Doug Flutie Hail Mary pass. I had nothing to lose. So I think I sent it out around, I don't know, 9:30 p.m. that night when I figured out how to do it. And it was this ugly plain text 9-word email. And you know, I woke up the next day and I had a shower and I went for a walk and I put on my suit and tie like I did every day. And I went to work, and I was pretty down and pretty defeated for the first time. And I parked the truck and I walked in the back door of the agency, and you know, I was like still thinking about what the heck am I gonna do? Like, how am I gonna come up with, you know, enough money in the next week to 10 days to cover that so I don't have to go into my dad's office, humiliate myself and ask for charity, which I wasn't going to do anyways. I'd give the business back before I ever asked for a handout from him. So I walk in the back door, and I'll never forget, I had a staff of like 3 or 4 people, and here they all come running to the back door with all these excitement, right? We're a very small team at the time, and they're like, "You won't believe it, Michael, you won't believe it." And I'm like carrying my lunch, and I'm like, got my briefcase, and I'm like, "What won't I believe?" And they're like, "The phones are ringing off the hook. The phones are ringing off the hook." And I was like, why are they ringing off the hook? In the insurance business, that can be a good thing or a very bad thing. And one of my guys that was a part-time salesman, I was a salesman as well, my service rep, my receptionist, they're like, "We can't keep up to it. Whatever email you sent," and they had a copy of it by then because people would be replying to the email, they said, "We're swamped in quotes, quote calls for home and auto. We've got some businesses calling for quotes, life insurance, you name it. And we can barely keep up to it." And I'll never forget that low to high point ever again in my life. Like, that little 9-word email literally saved me. I was going to renege 3 months into a 10-year deal. So my dad would end up with the agency back. I'd be an employee or kicked out of there with shame. And on top of it, everybody in the community would be laughing at me, not to mention my own family. And where would I have gone from then? So literally, that simple, accidental, I call it intoxicated or drunken 9-word email saved my bacon in the insurance business. I certainly wouldn't be walking and talking to you about marketing or email or winning if I had not stumbled upon that. So that's the story behind the power of building a little list of emails, emailing it consistently, and selling products that change lives. You genuinely help people. So the 3 things, by the way, we were able to sell those quotes, a lot of them. And about 10 days later, I walked into my dad's office and handed him a check for $30,000. Yes, a check. And boom, that we had less than $31,000 in our bank account. I'm not kidding. I wish I was. And my dad didn't know any of the difference. He was like, "Thank you very much." And I was never that close again to insolvency. Never. I was never that close again to bankruptcy. I had some tight times. I lived like a monk for about 4 years until I had some cash flow. But if it wasn't for email, I would have never made it past month number 3 in the insurance business. And I've used email in the hockey business, the barbershop business, the consulting business, the fundraising business, you name it. And wherever I go, I do 3 things. I build a list, I mail it consistently, and I sell products that help people. That's it. That's my 3-prong approach. So with all that said, I do have 3 regrets. There's 3 email marketing secrets that I didn't know at the time. And I literally didn't know until probably 3 years ago. So I was, I wasn't any good at the start, but being massively consistent is better than being somebody with talent and ability who doesn't show up. So by sending that accidental drunken 9-word email, I was just basically copying a winner like Dean, and just by showing up, I was able to save my bacon. So there's a lot of money loves consistency, winning loves consistency. And I just am one of those guys who just shows up more consistently than other people. But one of the number one thing that I regret, the email marketing secret that I wish I knew 19, 20 years ago, was that consistency is king. Consistency is king. I was wrapped up in this incorrect guru thinking of, massive action. Oh, I've got to take massive action. Anthony Robbins told me massive action. Have a list of 50 things and knock them off one at a time, massive action. That's okay when you're in your 20s and 30s and you don't have a family and you don't have children and all you have is time. But I would only send, in the insurance business, I made the critical sin of only sending one email a week. Now you can send one email a week and that's fine if it's the same day and the same time and you show up with great personality and great value. People will love that. That's consistency. Maybe you want to send 2 emails a week, but you show up same time, same consistency. People love, we're all creatures of habit, right? So maybe you want to send 3, same time, same days of the week. You never miss. Massive consistency, not massive action. I call it be prolific, not perfect. So I didn't know that. I thought that every email had to be perfect and I would labor over a simple email and all of a sudden sometimes I'd send it on a Tuesday and sometimes I'd send it on a Wednesday and some days I'd send it on a Friday. And it cost me tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars because nothing beats consistency. I was trying to make it perfect. I was trying to be this superstar writer when all I had to do was send a simple plain text email. Here I am 20 years later, and do you know that my simple plain text emails that I send to you every day, they have a video, but that's it. There's no image, there's no photo in these. The deliverability is 30% higher than when I used to send these fancy emails with pictures in them, photos. Could be a picture of me, my family, a book, whatever it was. The problem is some of them didn't get delivered. So when I simplified things 3 years ago, simple plain text email from a friend, my deliverability rates went up almost 30%. The only thing you'll ever see me include in these daily emails to you is what? A link to the video and a link to whatever I'm selling. So simple plain text emails are all you need to do. They're better. You get more opened, you get more read, and showing up consistently is king. I didn't show up consistently enough. I didn't show up on the exact day at the exact time so that people could say, I'm expecting Michael's email. And they were looking for my emails because I was giving away free pizzas, I was giving away NHL tickets, I was giving away NBA tickets. Like, I was a good news merchant. It wasn't like I was bothering them with insurance stuff. I was just building a fun, infotaining relationship. So that was my biggest thing, not using simplicity and not being massively consistent. The second secret that I wished I knew 19 years ago was that long copy always beats short copy. There's nothing wrong with short emails. I send short emails all the time, but nothing does better than long copy. Whether you're selling something or not, long copy can't be beat. the old saying from the great madmen and the copywriters, rings true today more than anything in this world of twits and tweeters and Instagrunts and low IQ people on TikTok. Are you kidding me? When it comes to selling, when it comes to copywriting, when it comes to emails, when it comes to newsletters, when it comes to videos like this one, the more you tell, the more you sell. Period. That's not my opinion. That's not what I would like to see. That's truth. That's a fact of the matter. It's a writer downer. The more you tell, the more you sell. So I've written over 4,000 emails in the last, let's say 10 years. I write about 400 emails, video emails a year. So out of those 4,000, I can go back and look at the data, and it shows me without a shadow of a doubt that when longer emails outsold short emails. Now, you should mix it up. Sometimes they can be short, sometimes they can be long, sometimes they can be medium. But, at the heel of the hunt, as my dad would say, long copy destroys short copy. The more you tell, the more you sell. I didn't know that. I believed the wet behind the ears gurus. I believe these pretend experts on social media. I believe these long on style, short on substance, egg-headed academics. I listened to all the experts who were like, nobody's going to read that. Nobody's going to read that long story. Nobody's going to read all that text. And it was also me self-projecting my own beliefs. I believe that nobody's going to read an email that's 800 words or 1,000 words or 1,200 words, and I was dead ass wrong. I was as wrong could be. And I have emails that I've written and videos where 1,500 words, videos that are 65 minutes, and without a shadow of a doubt, data rules the day, analytics rule the day. The more I tell, the more I sell. So that's my second marketing secret that I wish I would have known 20 years ago. The more you tell, the more you sell. That one cost me millions. And I miss those millions. I would like those millions. I would like those millions right now. So the third thing that I learned, I wrote it down here, is there's no virtue in not selling. Okay? Showing up, running a nonprofit, running a soup kitchen, or running a halfway house, or thinking you're some do-gooder or you're some virtue signaling, whatever it is, okay? You show up, you preach, you don't sell jack shit. And my emails when I first started, I used to just give content. Oh, I gotta give value. I gotta give my best stuff away for free. So I'd literally give away good tips. I'd give away books. I'd give away tickets. I'd give away jewelry certificates. I'd give away all my knowledge, all my wisdom. And a lot of these people in the insurance business, some of them weren't my clients, but I give value. And what I learned over the last 10 years is there's no virtue in not helping people. So if you have a product that you believe in, whether you're a jewelry store owner or you teach golf lessons or you're an insurance agent or you sell commercial flooring, I don't care what you do. If you believe in the product, that it's a solid product and it helps people, then I believe it's your moral obligation to sell it. And to sell it as effectively as you can. There's no virtue in being one of these anti-business or I'm an anti-sales, afraid to sell. It's not the way I was raised. My grandfather was a salesman. My pop is a salesman. I'm a salesman. My daughter is a salesman. My wife is a salesperson. And I used to think I was holier than thou by giving content. I'd give away my best stuff, hoping that people would then buy insurance from me. Well, the reality is I grew up and found out they don't. In fact, when you give it all away for free, the opposite happens. You're no longer valued. You attract freebie seekers. You attract the bargain hunters. You attract the cheapskates, and it's your own fault. It was my own fault. So the third secret with email that I wished I would have known was the fact that ABC, always be closing, ABS, always be selling. I mean, the economy needs it. I live in the two greatest countries in the world, the United States and Canada. Are you kidding me? They need you out there. You're a rainmaker, you're a producer, you're a builder, you're a small business owner, you're a founder. You make it rain. If it's not for you, there's no schools, there's no hospitals, there's no ballparks, there's no Rotary Club, there's no Lions Club, there's no tax base. You're the hero in the story. The small business owner, you and me, we stir this drink. We stir this drink called capitalism. We stir this drink called freedom and personal sovereignty. And without you, you take a nap for 6 days. All the small business owners in America or Canada take a nap for 6 days, go lie in a hammock. All this comes to an abrupt stop. Okay, nothing happens. My dear grandfather used to say, Michael, he says, nothing happens till first a sale. Nothing happens till first a sale. There's no reason for an employee. There's no reason for a product. There's no reason for office furniture. There's no reason until somebody sells something. And like the great Zig Ziglar used to say at the end of his motivational selling speeches, go sell something. The country needs it. I love that saying, go sell something, the country needs it. So I thought I was this, virtuous guy and I'm going to be their friend and all this other stuff. Well, if you're their friend and you genuinely want to help them and you have a product that you love and helps people, it's your moral obligation to sell the shit out of it. And you know what? If you're selling something you don't believe in, find something that you believe in. Get the hell out of that business or find a new product. Like I can talk with passion and obsession about what I do because I don't associate with anything that I don't love. When I was recruiting hockey players, I was congruent. I was like, they could feel my energy, my passion, because I'm in the living room with mom and dad and the player, and they can feel it. Because I believe in my program, I believe in the team, I believe in what the kid's going to get out of it. Same thing in the insurance business. I knew we had the best products. I knew I was going to do the best job serving. I knew we were going to protect our clients. I knew we were going to give them great value. And people magnetically, they could feel that I believed in it. I wasn't selling something I was ashamed of or I didn't believe in. Same thing with my books and my newsletters and my Email Millions program. Like you can feel it, whether you agree, disagree, are interested, not interested, you at least can feel that this guy believes in what he sells. And I don't pitch man shit that I don't believe in. It's that simple. You'll never see me hawking my wares or cutting my teeth with somebody else's stuff. I rarely recommend books. I rarely recommend other products. So that's my third email marketing secret that literally cost me millions of dollars. Oh my God. In the insurance business, there was a handful of years there where I was just a guy. I wasn't a salesman. I was a visitor. That's quite a title when you think about it. I heard that years ago, and I've heard my dad say that early in the days when he said, are you a professional salesperson or are you a professional visitor? Because my dad took me on the road my first year before I bought the business. And we would go visit these massive dairy farms, these massive beef and cattle farms, right? They were my dad's biggest clients. 20 grand, 30 grand, $40,000 policies. We didn't have many of these, but we had a handful of them. And guess who delivered those every year to the kitchen table? My dad. And he is the closer every year. You got to resell that. And my dad was the Bobby Bowden of the insurance close in the living room, in the kitchen. In 20 minutes, talk about life, talk about farming, get the check. And I remember him taking me on a few of these, and he says, okay, just sit there and shut your mouth. And he says, watch how it's done. Learn, actually watch and learn. And I did. And then finally, after about a year, I'm about to take over the business. And he's like, okay, it's up to you now. You're now the closer. You're the Bobby Bowden. Let's see how you can do. And I was ready because I had spent the year with him on and off the road. And man, oh man, he said it's no different than closing a blue chip hockey player. It's very little about the game, and it's very little about what you think. It's about building relationships and serving other people. So I'll never forget the first time I'm walking down the hallway, and I was still working for my dad, but it was nearly time for me to take it over. And I got the big file under my under my arm, and I'm heading out to a big farm. He was a maple syrup producer, like 30, 40,000, first one on my own. And I'm about to walk out the back. I'm nervous. I got my suit and tie on. I'm heading into the back country to go see these people. And my dad opens up his office door and yells down the whole hallway past everybody in the office, remember, get the check. It was his only advice. Get the check. None of this good luck horse shit or say hello for me or anything like that. And I've always kept that in my mind. Get the check. When you send an email, help people and get the check. When you do advertisements, help people and get the check. When you write a newsletter, help people and get the check. When you write a book, help people and get the check. When you shoot a video, help people and get a check. There's no nobility or any of that crap in not serving people. And I've always remembered it's my moral obligation to help people through my products. And I build them so that they transform lives. I can look in the mirror every day and say, you know what? Anything that I sold has my fingerprints on it. It's badass and it serves people. So keeping it to myself, there's no virtue in me being a professional visitor. Those are the three things that I wished I would have known 20 years ago. What is it? Old too fast, smart, old too fast, and not smart enough soon enough. So it's the way it goes, right? You just got to be, like Charlie Munger says, you just got to be a learning machine. You got to be a learning machine. You don't know anything about email marketing and you're 55 years old, you're 65 years old, become a learning machine. Become a learning machine. And that's what I teach in my emailmillions.coach program. I got a special training coming up at the 1st of February with my guys. How to build an email list from zero, zilch, to 500 buyers in 90 days. Think about that. If you don't have an email list and you want to create an ATM machine that'll feed you for the rest of your life, all you have to do is be on that training. To be on that training, it's my lowest level in Email Millions, which allows you to be on that training. And I write an email for you every week, 52 per year. You don't even have to write emails. I write them for you. Emailmillions.coach. For this week and the end of this month, $147 a month. That's it for me to write an email for you every week to show you how to build a list from scratch. Almost every business I was in, I started with nobody, no emails, zero, zilch. I'll show you how to go from zilch to 500 in 90 days. You get yourself a list of 500 players with money, 500 buyers on a list, and you'll never worry about money again in your life. If you send consistent emails, plain text emails, ones that I write, you'll never worry about money again in your life. If you have a list of 200, 300, 400, 500, if they're buyers, if they're high-end people, if they're players with money, like Halbert said, you're gold, baby, you're gold. But I'm gonna teach my guys how to do exactly that. If you're brand new, the better. I didn't know how to do any of this stuff. I was a rookie, wet behind the ears. You can learn from all my expensive experience and all my expensive mistakes. Email millions.coach. And that training this February coming up is titled How to Build an Email List from 0 to 500 in 90 days. That's it for today. Like my dad told me the other day on the phone, my 90-year-old dad, he said, son, remember, the best is yet to come. 2 words that changed my life, 2 words that'll change yours. Be relentless.